Good afternoon and welcome to Abbotstown, the centre of excellence for not one but two games today in the Electric Ireland Challenge Cup, and two cups will be given out here this afternoon. The first game is between Wicklow Gold and Kildare Lilywhites, and they may be unfamiliar names to a lot of you, but the Celtic Challenge started in 2016 and it is well established now, and these teams are sort of made up of different areas coming together. We'll explain that as we go on. So it is your county, but it's not exactly the county as you know it. We will try and explain that, as I say, as we go on. But it's for the Tom Hogan Cup in the Electric Ireland sponsored competitions. The first game is going to be Wicklow Gold in yellow over to our right, and we have Kildare Lilywhites in green, if that makes sense, over to our left. And we're looking forward to a really good game here. The surface is always fantastic. Bit breezy, but apart from that we've no rain, and the pitch is absolutely superb for playing hurling on. You could not complain at all about this surface. It's pretty like Croke Park, and talking of Croke Park, there's two big hurling games there later on this afternoon as well. So lots of hurling today. The first game we are bringing you is, as I say, the Electric Ireland Tom Hogan Cup. Wicklow Gold against Kildare Lilywhites, and we'll go through the teams in just a moment. But first I want to bring in John Doran from Kildare. John, have I set it up there? Is that how you would explain it, or how would you explain Wicklow Golds and Kildare Lilywhites to anyone who's not in the know yet?
Yeah, I suppose it's a developmental competition, first of all, Jerome. So the players would come from clubs all over the different counties that aren't involved with the county under 17, as in, if you want to call them the traditional, the county minor teams. So that's it's a developmental pulling from clubs from the players as well. So it's a fantastic competition. I know you commented on the colours, the jerseys are a bit off, but I think that adds to the allure for the players. They love it, and it's a fantastic part of this competition. The young lads get to keep the jerseys afterwards as well for a memento of their participation in this competition. So it's fantastic, and I know our lads the Kildare lads are certainly looking forward to it. It's been a great competition for them, and I'm sure Wicklow as well up to now.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that they like to keep the jerseys. I mean, there is something about playing for your county, and that, I suppose, is the carrot in a lot of this. You are playing for your county. Now, we'll go through the teams in just a minute. We're just making a few final adjustments here and getting ready for this game. But Kildare are out there in the green jerseys. Nice jerseys they are too, and they will get to keep them at the end. They're just warming up there, and the captain of that team is number 8 from Selbridge, Cian de Greek. I think the pronunciation is. I'll ask John about that in a second. And also around the team there, as he said, lots of different areas represented. Clane, Naas, Maynooth, Moorfield and so on, and Sallins are in there as well, and 2 Mile House getting in, so well spread around the area. The captain's out in the middle of the field at the moment with the referee Jason Buckley for this game. But yeah, John, I was just going to ask you there about those jerseys, and I suppose it's important for them. They feel they're representing a county, and that's important at that stage.
It is, and I said I know it's different than the usual lily white jersey you'd see, but it's very much is a Kildare team, and that's why it's been put to those guys. And these guys will play with the Kildare under the development squads as well. So this is a county team. It's a final for Kildare to participate in, to try and win, and it's very much they're very much on board with that as well. So it's absolutely fantastic for them. And some of these guys, God willing, will go on to play with the Kildare minors next year. Others won't. So it's brilliant that they're playing for their county in a national final today. Yeah.
And you're building foundations. That's what it's all about.
That's what this competition is all about, Jerome. Yeah.
Right, let's look at the teams. Let's start with Wicklow Gold, and in goals for Wicklow Gold they have Christy Connors from Greystones, and there's quite a few players from Greystones on the team here, like Cathal Kirby at 3 and Tomas O'Connell at number 6, right up to the full forward Joshua Barry, who is also from Aerogue in Greystones. But they also have a spread. Ocean O'Neill, for example, from Western Gales, and Emmett Ronan from Glenealy, and Fionn Darcy at number 13 is from Carnew Emmets. Do you know much about these lads?
I know just from underage, from seeing from some of our local Kildare club teams playing against them, and Western Gales actually would play in Kildare in certain divisions at different age groups as well. So the Greystones club is a really good club in Wicklow, and I see that they backbone in the central positions of this team as well. So that familiarity with each other should pay off for Wicklow throughout the day as well. Yeah.
And looking at Kildare now, let's go on and look at these boys. You'll know these obviously even better, and there is that spread up the middle. You have St Lawrence's, Naas, Clane and Naas again, and you have Aerogue, and you have Selbridge in there, and you have your captain at number 8. I was struggling with the pronunciation there. Is it the Greek?
The Greek.
The Greek.
Yeah, you got
Greek.
it right, yeah.
Okay, and around the rest of the team then, who should we look out for?
Young Noah Farrell there from Naas is a smash. Number 14 is a smashing hurler. Shane Henry from Clane as well. Cormac Doolan in the goals was an outfield player that was converted into the goals. He would have done a little bit of goalkeeping with his club.
That often happens.
It often happens, and he's superb. He's for such a young man. He's a great command of the players around him, and it's brilliant to see. And keep an eye out for him as well. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've seen the Tipperary goalkeeper play outfield. Back in Fitzgibbon days, I'm pretty sure he was half forwards back then. He captained WIT to win the Fitzgibbon up at Queen's about 8 or 9 years ago, and now he's the keeper. So sometimes maybe they make better keepers.
I think they do, and we would encourage them, especially in training a lot, that the goalkeepers would they at the beginning of training they do 15 minutes specific goalkeeping drills, but after that then they join the outfield players for their drills. And you see Owen Murphy of Kilkenny, he's a prime example of playing wing forward in his club or in centre back.
That's who I was talking about.
Okay. Centre back, outstanding, and the attributes they bring from the outfield when they bring him into the goals, they're covering and sweeping and directing the ball. It's excellent. So all of our underage keepers, we would encourage them to play out the field at their clubs if they can, or out the field and train as much as possible. Yeah.
Okay, that's the two teams. We are nearly set. There's one lovely quote to see in the match programme, which is an excellent production today, and it stands out and it says changing the hurling landscape, and that seems to be with this whole competition, and of course Tonóg as well, and the Cuchulainn Cup. That's what it is all about.
It is, and I think Paddy O'Neill is one instrumental in getting this competition up and running there a number of years ago. And I remember having spoken to him on it. He wanted a competition that incorporated all of Ireland and in a developmental ethos. And I think it's absolutely brilliant. There's guys playing match against other counties that wouldn't have the opportunity to do it. So you're spreading the net as far wide as possible. And I know just from the Clare point of view, you can see he said it just out the spread of clubs that we have involved. Like it's just fantastic for these guys to have this opportunity to hurl at this level. And when the game's being streamed, it's absolutely fantastic for them. They'll remember forever.
When you say hurl at this level, how important is it for some of these lads? I mean, would some of these lads never get near this if it wasn't for this competition? Say if they're from smaller clubs where there just isn't strong hurling, but they're a really good player.
Well, possibly, yeah. It's a fair point. I suppose with county minors and stuff like that, panels, you're limited in numbers, whereas you have this competition now, you can completely spread it. And I know at times you see our panel's 19, we have another panel as well of 19, so we've two panels. We've an under 17 panel entered into this competition as well, so we actually have three panels. So alright, the panels are nice and tight, and at times they can get tight if there's players missing with injuries and stuff, but you're spreading it as far as possible, and they are getting this opportunity. Some of them I would expect to go on to play with Clare minors next year, the 16-year-olds, and others hopefully with the Kildare under 20s in a few years' time, and I'm sure Wicklow are exactly the same.
You mentioned the spread. I mean, it's not just a spread among clubs in one county, but 29 counties are involved in this, which is fantastic for hurling.
It's unbelievable. It's absolutely it's such an achievement and a good news story for the GA to have this competition. And I know last year with COVID and things, it kind of was a run off. I don't know. In fairness, like everything else was a bit quickly, but in fairness, they put the effort back into the game this year, and it's just a fair play to everyone in the GA who are behind it. It's brilliant.
We're nearly ready for the start. The referee is Jason Buckley, about to throw it in there. I'm just checking to see if there's any changes to the numbers we've been given, but I don't think so. So we are ready to go. And as I said, John Doran, the surface is absolutely perfect for hurling. There's no bumps out there at all, and we'll just get on with the play now, because this is Jack Courtney for Kildare, the Lily Whites wearing green, and this now is Joe Corrigan from Naas, and they're going through to get a score in the first 10 seconds, and there you go, a lively start to the first of the Electric Ireland Celtic Challenge Cup games. A point right away for Kildare in the green against Wicklow Gold, who indeed are wearing a sort of a goldy yellow colour, but it's Kildare on the attack again. Nice touch there down the other side by Mark Kiernan, getting it in. And this is the full forward Noah Farrell, who John said to look out for. He's a quality hurler. Number 10 is Stephen Wilson there, but that's been turned over and maybe turned over again, a little bit scrappy. That's Kieran Traynor from Wicklow Gold coming in to sort it out, and fires the ball down into the left corner for Wicklow Gold to go on the attack. And I don't think that was a pass. I think he was going for a score, but it's going to drop short, and the goalkeeper Cormac Doolan clears his lines and gets it all the way up to Joe Corrigan, who's seeing a bit of ball out the field. He's wearing 15, but he's not playing in the corner by the looks of it. Stephen Wilson now. Number 11 coming in is Shane Henry, but it's Wicklow Gold with a little bit of room, but the referee penalises there. Lively start, John.
Very good start, up end to end. It's a point after 10 seconds, and the ball straight back down the other side then as well, and a great start to the game, yeah.
And we're talking about hurling pathways and development and all that. These lads just want to win this game.
That's it. They don't care about development. They
cup
don't
there.
care about tomorrow. This is all out now.
Well, that's young lads for you. And is that over? And it is. 2 points to no score for Kildare. And only a couple of minutes gone. And I think it was the centre half back who got that there. Number 6 would be Daniel
Colbert.
Colbert. It was him, yeah, from Clane. Not too far from here. This is Joe Dunn from Moorfield. Plays it in low. And in there is Kiernan trying to get in, but he's outnumbered. Might still get it, but Wicklow goal trying to clear, but instead Noah Farrell has it, drops it in, but that's going to go tamely to the right and wide. Bit of a wind around as well. John, I'm not quite sure what way it's going, or it's swirling. It's hard to tell when you're in the stand.
It is hard to tell. It seems to be coming down towards us on this side of the pitch, and the far side of the pitch seems to be going the opposite direction, but
work that out. And it's quite overcast, I mean, but when the sun comes out it's really warm. But other than that, I mean, the pitch is fantastic and is going to hold up well. Now that's a great catch there by Rowan Finnegan, and he gets us free as well. Nice catch. A lot of good skills in show already, Mark, or John.
There is, yeah. In fairness, the guys are settling into it well here. Not measuring the condition. I know we're talking about the wind, but they're getting the grips to it quite well. I suppose you see from some of the shoot now, it might take the forwards a bit of time to get their bearings, but wonder
did he hear you? He put it
to the right.
He put it to the right and wide, but maybe that's because of the wind, to be fair to him, you know.
Yeah.
Slight misjudgment, but 2 points to no score. 3 minutes gone. Going short. Are we playing tactical here? Have Kildare dropped a couple of players back?
I think Kildare pulled a man back to the half-forward line, so the 2 inside there. So
that's why they were able to go short with the puck out. But that's going to go tamely wide as well. I didn't know years ago that there was so much tactics in hurling until around 2005. Cork won their second All-Ireland in a row. The last one that they actually won, Sean Ogue, of course, was the captain. And then the following year, Kilkenny came along and beat them off the park, and that was the start of all that. But Cork were playing a short game. I didn't even realise there was tactics like that employed. But now I suppose they're used all over the place.
They are in all ages, and I suppose especially at the younger ages, is just let them hurl as much as they can and keep it as simple as possible for them. Let them find their way is key at this development. But I've all sorts of tactics now involved. The matches so far and all the Celtic Challenge games.
Our coach is not really keen to put that on them, even if they are young.
Oh, they are. There's certain elements of it they will, but they won't overdo it with them. That I suppose in one sense it's more important that they find their way. That we would introduce them to a lot of the different tactics they could be exposed to, and maybe get them to put into practice a bit at times themselves. But I suppose we want these guys to figure it themselves and learn. You know.
I hear you. This is the number 6 for Wicklow goal, Tomas O'Connell from Airlogue Greystones. Puts it high into Kildare territory and beautifully plucked out there under pressure by Dara Shannon. I wonder will they get a score. It certainly lifted the crowd, and there is an effort going towards goal, but it's not going to get there. That was from David Peppard, and it's going to be cleared. And this is number 7, Joe Dunn. There's space over here on the left. I think is that Kiernan again being involved. They're trying to work it into the full forward line there a lot, but the Kildare players outnumbered in there because, as you say, they brought a player back out. So they're robbing Peter to pay Paul, as they say. It's gone over the line, and it's going to be a Kildare ball again. And Wicklow goal just kind of need a score here to settle them down a little bit, but they haven't got near.
No, they're doing quite well, and here could be a score now.
It could indeed, and that is Fionn Darcy putting it in. The ball seemed to be dropping short. You have to get your range, I suppose. And they're trying to get it closer, over carrying against Walsh, and a free out for Kildare. Where's he going with this one? This is Cian Brodie from Maynooth, just firing it down the line, but it's going over the line. Great to see so many coaches as well on the sideline there for Kildare. You'll know all those boys. I'll give them a shout out. Adrian Kinsella, Luke Kiernan, Rob Dwyer, Brendan Midlin, Dave Walsh and Fakery O'Munacon.
Yeah, it's a good bunch in fairness. They will be the men's of the under 16 development squad, in fairness to them. So putting in great work in Kildare with this age group, and I'm delighted for them that they got their opportunity to be in the final here as well with the lads.
And it is a final. It's the Electric Ireland Celtic Challenge, and it's the Corn Tom Hogan that they are playing for. Kildare have made the better start, But Wicklow Gold, I think, will settle once they get their range in. A little bit of a scrap for possession down there. Who's going to come away with it? Free for Wicklow Gold. You get the feeling that Wicklow Gold are a match here, and this is a level sort of a game, even though they haven't got a score yet.
Yeah, I do. In fairness to them, they're hurling quite well. The defence down there are in the inside defence are on top there, and they've had a couple of opportunities up in the forward and just either misjudged the wind or just misstrike, as happens in the early stages of the game. So they're well in it. In fairness to them, yeah.
And off camera, I'm seeing a Kildare sweeper in there around the D as well. So they have an extra player dropped in there, just in case, so that makes it a little bit more difficult for Wicklow Gold.
Yeah, and Wicklow have the same up their side as well.
Yeah, that's the modern way, isn't it? Now this is Daniel Colbert, number 6, and they're finding plenty of room around here, but the problem is getting the ball to stick when it gets further up, and that one is definitely not going to stick because Wicklow Gold have it, and now it's their turn to try and get it up there, but defence is on top, it would seem, at the moment. That's Fionn Darcy, number 13. He's been lively out there and he's trying to make things happen. But every time they put it in there, Kildare win it and they clear it. And that's a good clearance diagonally across. But is it going to stay in? It is, you know. And that's Rowan Finnegan trying to keep it in. But Wicklow Gold do well. And that was the number 2, Oisin O'Neill from Western Gales, who got the ball clear. Now, fullback is James Bedford, does well to get it out to Dylan Doherty. No, it's actually been turned over, and this could be the first score for Wicklow Gold. Drilled perfectly over the bar. My goodness, he really took advantage there. Nipped in, won it, and put it over. Drilled it over expertly from almost on the sideline. What a score.
Fantastic score. He certainly found the range there from the sideline, in fairness to him. Beautiful strike.
Yeah, they found their range now, alright.
They have, alright, yeah.
That was a score and a half. 2 points to 1. After 8 minutes, and that'll do them a lot of good. Not just a score, but a brilliant score. Might get another one now. This is Joshua Barry, number 14. Oh, he gets a flick at it, does Thomas Walsh. So nearly in, but somehow Kildare have survived in there.
Great save.
Was it the goalkeeper?
The goalkeeper got 2 touches on it there to keep it out, in fairness to him, yeah.
Yeah, you said he's an outfield player, but he's definitely a keeper.
He is absolutely outstanding. Yeah. He's been a great find.
That's livened things up a bit. Wicklow Gold coming from 2 points down, could have been 2 up. And we're at the other end. Oh, what a strike! Oh, you love to see a pull on the ground, and that was absolutely classic. Picked on it absolutely perfectly. No chance for the goalkeeper, and it was Mark Kiernan from Salins. They profited at last from a ball put in there, and when he pounced on it, there was only going to be one result, but what a connection.
That's one for the traditionalists anyway. A beautiful strike. Oh, followed it well and pulled it beautifully, yeah.
Yeah, I was doing a game last week where people were bemoaning the fact that it doesn't happen too often, but that's a classic case of it, and so nice to see as well. And on this pitch, I guess it helps. The ball just bounce up perfectly.
Oh, it's beautiful, yeah. There'll be no bobbing on it, just pulling it in it goes.
I'm not trying to take away from him at all, but I mean, it did pop up nicely, but you still have to connect beautifully. I remember seeing a brilliant Camogie goal like that in an All-Ireland final about 10 years ago. Ursula Jacob, and on the ground, top corner on the other side as she hit it.
I remember that, yeah.
Oh, against Cork, what a score, And as you say, for the traditionalists, there's no finer sight.
No, and it's a hard one for the goalkeeper to predict as well in terms of saving the ball. So if you can do it, it's brilliant, yeah. Good work.
And do you hurling coaches promote that much these days?
Well, we would actually, if it's around the square, or if you get the opportunity to let it go, and we definitely get to sharpen up the goalies if we get them saving a lot of balls from the ground.
There's a point it's gone wide actually from Shane Henry. But not just around the goals, I mean around the pitch. Do you encourage, pulling on it, no?
Generally not, unless it's going to be directed to somebody. Pulling loosely, you kind of encourage them more to get over the ball and get it in their hand and move it off that way, yeah.
I've just remembered who actually was bemoaning it. It was actually a Cork man in San Diego last week watching hurling, believe it or not. And he's been away 18 years and he bemoans the fact that they don't pull on the ground as much as they used to. That's a good strike from distance. Is it gone over? And they're pointing, and they have indeed awarded that. That's David Peppert, and he has peppered the goals there with a lovely effort from Western Gales. Lovely point for Wicklow Gold. And when they found their range, they've not just found their range, they've found it in style. That is 2 points for them now, but a goal down because of that super strike a few minutes ago. Really enjoyable game here now. We've had 11 and a half minutes. Crowd really enjoying it. We've a good crowd in the stand here on our left and indeed on our right. The stand is packed here in Abbotstown, and it is entertaining stuff. Both teams going for it. Now this man has caught a few balls like that, and off he goes. He's a big fella, and he is off his left side, but he's put it wide to the left. That's Joe Corrigan. He's got a good hand on him.
He has a very good hand, yeah. And actually the feeling on both sides has been excellent so far, in fairness.
Yeah, I think it was the number 12 actually. I saw catch one here. That's Finnegan, but not that time. So Wicklow on the attack, but it's going to be swept up by Cahill, or rather James Bedford back there. The number 3 gives it low to Stephen Wilson. I think I called him Mark Kiernan earlier on. I got him mixed up. He's out around the middle of the field quite a lot. Puts a lovely ball in low though and gives it to Jack Courtney. Comes back out. I think Wicklow Gold have the numbers, and they pass it through the hands. Daniel Burns involved there, but Emmett Ronan is, or rather Dylan Doherty is going to bring it right back to them. This is Noah Farrell. Burst past one player and gives a lovely pass inside. It could be another goal here, and it's Mark Kiernan now. Goalkeeper comes out and the defence do their job, or at least they have so far. And Wicklow Gold survive, and this is Emmett Ronan coming out, or trying to come out. The fullback is Cathal Kirby. It's well taken down by Brody, the number 4, but Fionn Darcy has nipped in there and he's racing away with the ball over on the far side from here. Wind really picking up again, and it feels like it's in favour of Wicklow Gold at the minute. This is the number 7, Daniel Burns from Greystones. Blocked down though. Jack Courtney on the spot. Does well and puts it into the forwards. There's 3 Wicklow Gold men there, but the one Kildare man gets out in front. Puts it in looking for his full forward, but goalkeeper Christy Connors does well to come out. They've given it straight back. This could end up over the bar. It's a captain, and indeed it is Cian de Greek from Selbridge. Poor clearance there, and it just was a bit of a gift.
Yeah, it just in the end it turned out to be a bit of a gift, but the Wicklow defence have done excellently to get that ball out there, and in fairness, just went away from it with the clearance.
Oh, we were talking about a good hand, and it was him earlier on. I didn't mistake that. That's 2 from him, and there's a lovely effort, but it's drifting to the right, maybe taken by the wind there as well, and de Greek denied a second score, but lovely catch again. Maybe I'm a traditionalist. I love that.
No, lovely catch. He's a good hand on him now, Ronan has.
So we've seen all the skills today. The blocking right there, great catch, and a pull on the ground for the goal as well. And there's another catch, and that one is by Colbert, and it's Kildare now outnumbered there, but he gets out in front and puts it over the bar, and that's another lovely point, and it's a full forward Noah Farrell from Naas. You did tell me to watch out for him.
I did, yeah. He knows, he has it all now, and I think that's a bit better, more direct from Kildare than the catch, the pass, and then the delivery in. So it was much better. So
quality hurling here in this final. We're exactly a quarter of the way through the game. Crowd really invested in it as well, because they're right down in front of us. They're almost touching the action and they can see what's going on, and there's about 10-12 players in there, and you can't really get closer than that, and they are enjoying this game, and it's been played in a good spirit as well, I have to say. Referee Jason Buckley wasn't sure what way to give that, so he throws it in, and it's Tom Myler from Greystones who got it, but it's going to come right back, and Kildare always seem to be able to find players in space around the middle of the field, and it's sticking a few times in the forwards, but not this time. That's Ken Cullen, number 4 from Carnew Emmets. But both teams giving the ball away quite cheaply at times, it has to be said, and that's going to be a free in. Is that a fair comment? They're both teams giving it away?
I think so, but with the extra players both teams have back, I think they're struggling to find their way to moving the ball into the forward division there, and a lot of the ball is being poked aimlessly away, but I said they'll grow into it. I think the last couple of balls Kildare have maybe put a bit more direct maybe, but Wicklow will as well. I'm sure the manager will be saying to them when they get to half time, and it's just tactics, just dealing with the extra players back and going short and going to the sides where you grew.
And is 1-4 to 2 points a fair reflection so far, do you think?
Probably is. No, 2 points Wicklow, like they're playing much better than maybe the scoreline would suggest for them. I would say if they had 4 points, I wouldn't argue with it, that type of way. But they're definitely, they're most certainly in the game. They're just not getting scores for the effort that they're putting into it.
They haven't had a goal chance. Or oh no, they had one. They had one.
Yeah. There's a good ball out now. Yeah.
This is Daniel Burns. So they're going with a different approach this time. There's a few of the puck outs have been caught by Kildare players and it's come straight back at them. So they've been maybe thinking about working it out a little bit differently this time. Still going to come back at them because this is the Greek. And as you say, they find players around this area quite well. That's Wilson giving it to Colbert. Good support off the shoulder. This is the ball that doesn't always stick, but it did once when they got the goal. And off he goes again. Mark Kiernan looking for another one. Oh my goodness, what a finish. Doesn't matter how many men were around him there, and the man from Salins gets a low 5 for that as well, but that was a high shot to the net. Brilliant finish. We're getting quality hurling here, and after 17 minutes it is Kildare Lily Whites 2-4, Wicklow goal 2 points. Great score.
Great score, in fairness, and well finished by Mark. Well worked in by the Kildare defence back here. They kept finding the man to get a good delivery and tried the long ball, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but Mark took it really well.
And he didn't seem to be rushed. He was quite composed as well. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he always had goal in his mind.
Yeah, I actually thought he was going to pull the trigger for the point, but he put the back on the hurl and took it around his man, took the hit and went in. So a great score by Mark. He's a great corner forward.
So that's 2 goals for Kildare. So they keep looking for this ball in, and sometimes it works, and when it works they seem to get a goal from it, so you got to keep trying it.
Yeah.
So Wicklow Golds find themselves now 8 points adrift. They have a few players here because Kildare have dropped back, so they're allowing them to work the ball out. And the clearance goes down right in front of us on the sideline here. But Kildare seem to win the ball around here more than often and get the ball back up the pitch, but this time it's a free for Wicklow Gold. No, it's actually, well, Kildare seem to think it's theirs, but the referee, I'm pretty sure, has given it the other way.
It's a Wicklow ball as far as I
yeah,
know, and I think the Clare man touched it on the ground, didn't he?
Yeah. Referee just making sure with his linesperson. Not too happy with one of the mentors on the sideline. He's made the decision and he doesn't want any debating about it. And there isn't. So number 10 is David Peppard from Western Gales. Having a good look at this. He scored a lovely point about 6 or 7 minutes ago. It's a fair distance out for him to try, but our camera's right behind it. We'll see if he gets it. Well, he's put it high, but it's going to the right. But it's still in and around the house. It's batted down. Number 12 is Dara Shannon, who gets in there. He's got 3 players for company. It's overturned, but he's also been fouled free in. And it's going to be Peppered again, and this a lot closer.
Score.
Right over the black spot. So that's 3 points for Wicklow Gold, and that'll help them a little bit after the 2 goals at the other end. Give them a little bit of confidence. And that's his second. I can't remember who got the first one. John, over on the left, it was right over there. It was beautiful. It might have been the 13. I can't remember. Was it Darcy maybe? But it was beautifully put over. But definitely at least 2 for Peppard. So they're coming back at them, and that's going to be a free in. Good support for these games. I mean, I presume there's a lot of family and friends, you know, but it is an All-Ireland final.
It is. It's absolutely brilliant here, in fairness. This, as you said earlier, the stand is fairly full here. Like, you know, it's fantastic.
Some of the lads, of course, are here in the stand for the second game. That's Galway against Tipperary. We'll be live streaming that one. It's throwing in at 2:15, and there is another game away over at the minute on one of the far pitches here in Abbotstown.
It's Offaly Westmeath over there.
It's a bit too far for me to see who's winning or even who the colours were, to be honest. That one's low. That's dangerous. Keeper has to watch it. It could be batted into the net, and it is batted into the net. Whoa. As I say, we're seeing all of the skills today. Some brilliant catching, some brilliant scoring, and it's that man, Mark Kiernan. Again, what a day he's having.
It's brilliant stuff, and if he read that really well. He could have taken it in the hand and he just batted it straight back into the net. And unlucky in the Wicklow goalie, was a dangerous ball coming in, and he did right to bat it out now, but just unlucky that it completely fell to the Kildare corner forward.
Is that a sign of confidence when you see a player doing that, or is he just that skillful all the time?
Bit of both. He's obviously, his confidence must be riding high now with how he's playing today, but just an instant reaction. It was perfect. If any young persons at home was watching that's exactly what you do if the ball presents itself like that and take it in front of the goal.
Well, if you think of the 3 goals, I mean, one was pulled on the ground, that was batted in, and the other was driven into the top of the net. I mean, that's all top quality stuff.
Yeah.
So 3 goals for Kildare now, 3-4 to 3 points. Really enjoyable play here to watch, and Kildare seem to be really enjoying these competitions as they have been for the last 6 years now. Well, we'll leave out a couple for COVID, but you know what I mean, from 2016. Lovely catch there by the full forward. Farrell comes inside on his left, and he goes for goal as well. Gets a point. He's trying to say to Kiernan, whatever you can do, I can do, but it just went over the bar. But again, great skill.
Beautiful catch, actually. No, and he was under pressure there as well with the people around him to catch that. So
Wicklow Gold hanging on a little bit at the minute. Kildare have put 3 goals in, and could have been another one there as well. This is Tomas O'Connell spreading the play out to Daniel Burns, 2 Greystones men. This is Dara Shannon, number 12 for Wicklow Gold, and he gets a free. Just looking off camera, John, I'm seeing the number 7 is Joe Dunn for Kildare. He's just dropped in there. He's just sitting around there not marking anyone, so that's the extra player that they have back there.
Big Joe, as we call him. Yeah, he's in there. Yeah, Joe is actually from the Milltown. He plays hurling with Morfield. He's from the Milltown club, so it's fantastic to have people, someone from Milltown again involved.
And why do you say that? I have to ask, because I don't understand what that means, but I presume, is it not a hurling area?
Not particularly. Been more known for the football, and they've got hurling there, and Paul Deli Hunty from the club there is instrumental in driving it, and they've a couple of, they go to underage teams and stuff, but Joe be one of the older hurlers that they have, and it's fantastic then to see that he's still playing and involved, and he's playing his hurling with the Morphy club at the moment, but it's brilliant for the area. There's a lot of work going on around that Newbridge area there in Kildare at the moment, so it's great to see these guys here.
That's Finnegan with the effort. Keeper watches this one, doesn't bat at that time, but spreads the play nicely and gets it out to Daniel Burns. So would Big Joe be one of the... Oh, there's another great catch. Great catch by Cian Brodie. How many brilliant catches have we seen in this first half? It's been absolutely superb and really encouraging to see. Great skills and a sign of great coaching as well, to be fair. And this is Pepper putting it in there as Wicklow Gold try to get somewhere, but Big Joe's in there again. And is he, would you say, one of the players that is really in particular benefiting from this kind of competition?
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, sure. They got the 6th or 7th game, if I'm not mistaken, of this, and it's brought on his hurling and all the rest of the guys hurling unbelievably well. You know, we can do our training, we can do challenge matches, but having competitive matches week after week, it's just been absolutely brilliant. And if compare this to the first game we would have played back a month or 2 ago, like the catching in particular has just improved so much, something that they really worked on. I suppose that a lot of hurlers at that age, we all get in the bad habits of pucking the ball 10 yards to each other, but we forget that the most basic skills of catching from distance and things, and it's something that's been worked on an awful lot in striking as well. So it's fantastic to see them produce it here on this day in the final, like, you know.
But also the likes of Big Joe, as you're saying, that he's at a club maybe where hurling wouldn't be that strong, but this gives him an outlet and it gives him plenty of games.
Absolutely, yeah. And they said if you look at, and it's not Rowan Finnegan from 2 Mile House, another club around outside Naas, wouldn't have adult teams yet. Hopefully it will happen in the next couple of years, but Rowan's here playing, and we've other players in different squads and minors and things like that.
So there's no senior team in his own club,
no,
so he doesn't have that to aspire to.
Not at the moment, but hopefully in the next couple of years they will have adult teams, and there's been a few clubs in Kildare like that have had guys involved with the Celtic Challenge that will step in, and if it wasn't for the Celtic Challenge, you would know maybe they mightn't have continued hurling, so it's been absolutely brilliant for them.
That's the player pathway bit, isn't it?
That's it in the nutshell. We've seen it in a few clubs. Kappa's, and as I said, it's a great example of how it has worked unbelievably well.
26 minutes gone, 4 to half time. Kildare lead 3-5 to 3 points. Wicklow Gold coming back at them. No, this is the fullback all the way up there. That's Cathal Kirby. But it's well defended again by Kildare. And there's space here, you know, if that can get through. Oh, that was an important interception by Daniel Burns, because Jack Courtney was waiting in behind there. So Darius Shannon clearing his lines, but it's going to go right down the throat, and Big Joe's just going to say thank you very much. He's getting an awful lot of ball in there, so he's proving very effective as a sweeper in there. But now they do manage to get it down to Stephen Wilson. He gets in between a few players, and as he found that, it's just gone to the right, just tailed off at the last minute. But he's a lovely player, and I did get him mixed up earlier a little bit with Mark Kiernan. They look quite similar, and they play quite similar.
They do, from the same club, and he was unlucky with that one. He did everything right, just the wind took it away at the last minute.
Now Wicklow Gold at the other end, can they get a score? They've got past Joe. No, they haven't. Joe's come back to get it, but there may still be a chance. It's hooked though, or blocked there by the number 2 Paddy Connolly from Clane. There was an opening for a second where Thomas Walsh just got a sight, but Kildare very strong at the back, and now working it up the field. Put it in towards Farrell. He comes out and gets it again, and immediately speeds off to try and go towards goal, and they had to sandwich him there to stop.
He wasn't getting through there anyway.
But you could tell there was intent on his mind. As soon as he got it, he was like, I'm heading off here. Put one over earlier on, and he's going to get this one, I would imagine, from the free. Or would he even be tempted to go low? A cheeky one after 28 minutes. Nope, he's going over. We'll make it 3-6-3 in Kildare. Very much in control. Doesn't feel like that sort of a game when you look at the scoreboard, because Wicklow Gold have been in it quite a lot. They just haven't found the scores as much.
Yeah, it's just the scores. Yeah, it's
those goals.
They've had the plenty of goals. That's it. Yeah,
and great goals they were. This is Kirby, who's come out the field a bit to try and get Wicklow Gold moving, but Joe Dunn comes out yet again, putting himself around there. They're all getting in there, and it pops out for Wicklow Gold, and it's that man Kirby again. He's got support there from Kieran Traynor. He's found him as well in the red boots, and he finds Darius Shannon. Now this is where they need the ball to stick. Joshua Barry comes back out, and the effort is from Peppard, but it's going to drop short, and the goalkeeper Cormac Doolan clears his lines in there. We're back to, I'm afraid, saying that they're not finding their range, but it's such hard work for them just to get an effort towards goal. This is the midfielder Tom Myler, and he's upended there. Gets support from O'Connell. This is Alec Bartak, also from Greystones. About half of the team is from Ayr Oak in Greystones. Now this is Corrigan for Kildare. Takes it nicely and spins, gives it inside to Finnegan off his left side from a fair distance, but he's got it. Lovely score, and Kildare really starting to enjoy themselves now. Coming up to the break, they're in a very comfortable place, and they're picking off some lovely scores. Now that puck out is looking for Shannon, but it just goes beyond him, and it's going to go over the line for a Kildare ball. And we are 10 seconds away from the 30-minute mark in the first half, and a very enjoyable first half it has been. Now that's a gift there for Fionn Darcy, but it's going, I think, to, no, it's actually going to stay in play. That's Thomas Walsh there who has got it. Maybe the wind held it up a little bit there, but Kildare again defending stoutly in there and forcing Wicklow Gold back all the time. That's lovely play. Got a little flick on it there, and they get it clear up the middle of the pitch. That's Finnegan again, and the effort from distance is from Corrigan. Did he get one a minute ago off his left side, and now he's going off his right?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it was an excellent bit of play down by Kildare there, all ball to hand as well. So, hurling well, and again, just Wicklow had a couple of opportunities to the point, and just outside that range, and just didn't get over them. But they're getting the opportunities.
How would you assess the quality of finishing in that half? Obviously, particularly by Kildare.
Very good, to be honest. A lot of it. Now there was a lot of wayward shots that weren't on. That might have been better off putting it into the corners or so on. But you can't argue with the 3-11 in the first half. The 3 goals have been absolutely outstanding. A couple of the points have been outstanding and great team scores. So no, there's stuff they can improve on as well. But it has been excellent.
Absolutely, very enjoyable first half. 30 minutes and 36 seconds played. It's Kildare Lilywhites 3-8, Wicklow Gold 3 points. The players going in, the crowd will go in to get a cup of tea as well, and we're going to take a break. But what we're going to do is we're going to play a few interviews during the break that were done at the launch of the competitions about 6-7 weeks ago, right here in Abbotstown actually. So you'll hear from the likes of the president of the GAA, Larry McCarthy, and a few others as well, talking about the importance of this competition and of the Cuchulainn Cup and of Tonóg as well.
Tiernan, you made your debut for Galway recently. How has the Celtic Challenge helped your progress the last couple of years to get to that point?
So basically the experience of it, when I was minor I got the opportunity to play it, and I played, I think it was 5 or 6 games in a row consecutively every week, and just the standard of it was so high that it improved all my skills. The basics is the most important, and it improved every one of those and helped me to push on as far as I have.
Would you not have had those sort of games otherwise?
Well, I suppose the minors, there's not as many matches in the minor setup, I suppose, so it gave me the opportunity to do both. So the standard of Celtic Challenge is so high. Once again, we're playing Cork, Limerick, Wexford, all the top counties, and I suppose that got to play them in a row. I got to play so many games that the standard just helped me, obviously.
And did it give you confidence then?
Of course it did, yeah. Obviously winning out again would give anybody confidence. So we won it in the end. We beat one of the Cork teams in Tullamore on a lovely day, and of course it gives you confidence, yeah, winning it out.
Yeah, we had Tiernan Killeen here 3 years ago playing centre back on the Celtic Challenge Cup winning team. He wasn't at the time on the county minor 30, and as a result of being in the shop window over 6 games and his performances got him into a minor panel that year, and he got a subs medal. The following year he played minor proper and got his outright medal. We won that year as well, and that's only 3 years ago, Jerome, and now he's in Henry Shefflin's 20. So, you know, people who say that the Celtic Challenge Cup doesn't matter, I think Tiernan Killeen have something else to say. And I think as well it's important that that young fella on his player pathway, you know, when he was physically and psychologically developing, the Celtic Challenge Cup gave him his outlet, and now he is what he is today as a senior hurler.
Is this finally the solution for hurling, really, for the future, do you think, long term?
Of course it is. Sure, everybody needs to be playing matches. Nobody wants to be constantly training. Everybody deserves to play matches, and competitively they all need to be playing matches. And obviously you can see every county is doing that. You saw it again in 2019. Everybody was playing finals. So of course it has to be the solution, yeah.
And in a way, is it breaking down mindsets and barriers for kids who maybe go, well, I'm not from a hurling county?
Of course, a lot of the football counties don't think they have hurling counties in them, if that makes sense. So all the counties get their opportunity to play finals, and it's competitive. It's not like you're going out, bit of crack playing it, everybody, and there's a trophy at the end of it. You're playing other counties at the same standard of you, and of course it helps everyone, yeah.
It's given Tier 1 counties a chance to have divisional teams, but more importantly it's given the developing hurling counties a massive opportunity to be treated equally under our GAA values. So, you know, respect and inclusivity are big values that the GAA have in their philosophy. And for years, a minor in a developing hurling county got one game on a knockout basis. And how could you encourage managers and mentors to keep being part of that in a one-off opportunity? But the Celtic Challenge has reversed all that thinking. And you know, as an association, we're a games-based association. We need to stay loyal to our origins and our philosophies. And the Celtic Challenge has given the player in the developing hurling county a massive opportunity to develop into an adult hurler. People in the counties now are looking for these jobs in the Mayos, Sligos, Roscommons and Leitrim's. It's important to be part of. It's getting media and proper coverage. So yeah, I think, you know, under equality, the developing hurler at minor in the developing hurling counties are getting the same now respect as the Tier 1 counties. And again, even Electric Ireland this year, part of the overall sponsorship for, you know, no segregation there. Tier 1 is the same as Tier 2, 3 and 4. The Tonóg, like, it's, firstly I'd have to say it's the biggest games programme in the association. There's over 600 games fixed across 13, 15, 17, leading into this year's inaugural adult Cuchulainn. Again, it's given the club player in the developing hurling county a platform. So when you go into a Leitrim and you have Manor Hamilton, Clooney na Manch in the north of the county, and then you go down to the south of the county and you have St Mary's Carrick. So that county final can be played on one day every year because there's only the two clubs. So when you consider now cross-border, cross-county competition, meaningful games at ability levels, sure, it's a rising tide, to be fair. So the whole philosophy there, again back to being a games-based association, we're now giving the meaningful games opportunities to the players. And I think as well, Jerome, from a games development perspective in my current position, when we put on the games, now all the games development projects are demanded by the volunteer. He now needs coach education. He now needs upskilling workshops. Before, we were putting the cart before the horse. We were giving him all the stuff he didn't need because he had no games program. But now it's kind of reverse psychology. The demands are coming from the volunteer, and I think that's very positive.
Well, I hope we've cracked it with these competitions, yeah, because what they give opportunities to young people to play at an inter-county level and at a club level, and we're breaking down borders, we're breaking down the county. I suppose the integrity of the county to a certain extent. I'm not saying that in a bad sense now, but it gives us opportunity to play games cross-county, and then as a consequence of that, people are getting their games. And let me point to the South Ulster Junior Hurling Developmental League, you know, a fabulous competition that's been running for the last 3 or 4 years, where clubs come across counties, play each other at their own level, and they're absolutely loving it.
When I was minor, I got the opportunity to play it, and I played, I think it was 5 or 6 games in a row, consecutively every week, and just the standard of it was so high that it improved all my skills. The basics is the most important, and it improved every one of those and helped me to push on as far as I have.
Absolutely delighted with it. I mean, it's 6 years going, and they've grown up now to 340 teams or around that, and very, very happy with the growth of it, and long may it continue.
Electric Ireland is passionate about the development of young people and supporting young GAA players, and we're delighted to come on board as the sponsor of the Electric Ireland Celtic Challenge for the next 5 years. The Electric Ireland Celtic Challenge showcases some of the best young hurling talent in the country, and we're really excited to see how the games play out over this season.
My name is AJ Tully. I am 12 years old and I've been playing hurling for around 8 years.
What about this new competition, the Tan Og that's come in? What difference do you think it has made?
Makes underage hurling a little more competitive and more fun for some people. And then there's more hurling for them to play, because usually you only be able to play a few clubs around yours instead of going across other places, play other teams from maybe other places in Ireland.
The buzz at training, we played the first evening, as I said, in the Dome, and the buzz at training the next day was just unbelievable. I mean, you talk about your Joe Cannings and these, you know, and I mean, it can drive you mad at times. Every young fella now wants to take sidelines at training, even though, you know, but they got in that Dome, they felt so important, and they were back training. They wanted more. They want more of it.
The Tan Og, like, it's, firstly, I'd have to say it's the biggest games programme in the association. There's over 600 games fixed across 13, 15, 17, leading into this year's inaugural adult Cuchulainn. Again, it's given the club player in the developing hurling county a platform. So when you go into a Leitrim and you have Manor Hamilton, Clooney na Manch in the north of the county, and then you go down to the south of the county and you have St Mary's Carrick. So that county final can be played on one day every year because there's only the two clubs. So when you consider now cross-border, cross-county competition, meaningful games at ability levels, sure, it's a rising tide, to be fair. So the whole philosophy there, again back to being a games-based association, we're now giving the meaningful games opportunities to the players.
Do you feel that your skills are improving and also the numbers are going up?
Sorry to interrupt there, but we will play those interviews again during the second stream on the second game today. That is the 2:15 game, but we have to come back now because the players are out for the second half. Wicklow Gold in the gold or yellow jerseys, and we're off and running for the second half, and you'll notice a 22 in there. So a sub has come in for Wicklow Gold at half time, and they do need a little bit of inspiration in the second half, and maybe he is going to provide it, and he certainly had an impact there at the start. But it's a free now for Kildare, and they certainly have the best of things in the first half. Just checking who the 22 is. It's Dale Van Dalen from Kilcool. Have I got that right, John Doran? That's quite a name.
Dale Van Dalen.
Dale Van Dalen.
Yeah.
And that sounds like sort of Dutch extraction, something like that. Dale Van Dalen. He's come in. He's number 22, and I'll try and pick up some other changes if there are any as well. There's a 19 as well in for Kildare Lillywhites, I see, and that's James Donnelly from St Lawrence's.
Yeah.
And there's a number 18 in as well. That's Liam Ryan from Confey. So they're
Steve,
ringing the changes.
Stephen Wilson's come off, and so has Dylan Doherty as well. So,
and what do you think's behind those changes?
just giving guys an opportunity to get on. They're I said the manager was hard enough to pick the team this year, so that they just want to give an opportunity to get guys on and add to it. And
those lads did well in the first half, so it's no reflection on their
no,
performance.
not at all, absolutely not. No.
But if you've got a bench, you may as well use it.
And again, it's back to the purpose of this competition, is to get these guys game time in the competitions and finals like this.
Good block there by Daniel Colbert a minute ago, and Wicklow Gold trying to knock on the door here early in the second half. Kildare remaining resolute, so it's just a battle around the middle of the field at the minute. And that's Shane Henry, the number 11 centre half forward for Kildare from Clean, getting involved there. 5 or 6 more getting involved there, including Van Dalen, who's come in at half time. Not much progress been made just yet, but now Jack Courtney has it. He bursts out of there, but he's been pickpocketed, and that's Kieran Traynor, number 11 for Wicklow Gold, involved now. And now coming in is Darius Shannon. Seems to be more about Wicklow Gold at the start of the second half. They're really getting stuck in. Must have got the message at half time. You're in this final, you've got to give it. And up the effort a little bit. Lovely touch though, and the finish didn't match the touch, and he's picked up a bit of a knock there as well, Farrell, and the ball goes over the sideline here on this side down on the left. But a bit more intent, John, from Wicklow Gold in the second half, it would seem.
Yeah, definitely. They're certainly giving it out there, and especially around the middle sector there. I don't think Kildare were struggling to get past them there, and more of it. They'll get back right in this game.
This is Cathal Kirby bursting out of defence for Wicklow Gold, but doesn't get the clearance that he wanted, and Colbert picks it up. Kildare Gold under pressure a little bit in this second half, a little bit more tenacity about Wicklow Gold. As the sun comes out here, we're glad to see it in Abbotstown, because the wind certainly has a chill factor about it, so nice to see it come out. This is Big Joe Corrigan. They have 2 Big Joes on the Kildare side, one in the forwards and one in defence, and the little fella there is number 18 for Kildare, and that is Liam Ryan, but it's a free out for Wicklow Gold. And I see they're bringing on another sub, and it's number 17 coming into your picture now, and he is coming in for Farrell, and I saw him pull up just a minute ago, so that must be an injury he was carrying. And number 17 coming in is Kieran Ryan from Broadford, so disappointing there for Farrell.
Yeah, I think he was carrying a bit of a knock over the last couple of weeks, and he was doing his best and with physios and stuff to be right for today, and so I think he's running there fine on it, so I think it's more precautionary taking him off than there's actually an injury.
Hopefully not. Centre half back for Kildare is Daniel Colbert, who's been strong in there in that position throughout the game. Sideline ball for Wicklow Gold, and Peppert will take it from Western Gales. There's a few Western Gales about. There's one in Roscommon as well, but this one definitely in Wicklow. Come on, Wicklow is the crowd. The Wicklow supporters trying to lift their team as well, and they get a free in, so they could get the first score of the second half. Fionn Darcy is there, but he leaves it for Peppert. So they've only the 3 points on the board, and 2 of them have been from Peppert, and the referee brings them over to the middle to make it a little bit easier again. And he's actually asking the sideline, should he go low? It's a bit early for that. And a bit far out as well. So he takes his point, and that's the 4th score of the game for Wicklow Gold. And more importantly, John, it's the 1st score of the game, and they deserve that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And for all the effort they're putting in the second half, and they're right up there with Kildare on one more. This man, number 3, Kirby as well. Like they're really getting much more physical and working much harder. So they're getting the scores now.
And the Wicklow Gold sideline there seem to have made a change as well, and they seem to have taken off David Peppard as well. Number 21 has come in for Wicklow Gold. That is Phelim Lynch Ward from Western Gales. Now, number 9, Jack Courtney, driving forward. They're chasing him. They can't catch him. He tries to pass it, but that's been overturned, and the referee says play on. That's good work by the fullback who John picked out a moment ago, Cathal Kirby. This is much better from Wicklow Gales, and that one spills nicely and kindly for them as well to Ward, who's just come into the play. This is Kieran Traynor trying to make something happen. Lovely little dummy there as well on the stick from Fionn Darcy from Carnew Emmets. Doesn't get through in the end, but they certainly have a lot more about them in the second half, and that's a great catch by Daniel Burns as well. Their tails are up, Wicklow Gold, and they're taking the game to them, and you've got to give them credit for that because they were well behind at half time, but they're playing as if it's 0-0.
They are, in fairness to them, and I know the scoring at half time could have been fairly daunting, but then on the other side you could look at it, there's no pressure now, just go out and give it your damnedest, because the fear kind of is gone at this point. If you don't, the game is gone, so you've nothing to lose. Go out and throw shackles at it, you know.
That's exactly what they're doing. So Kildare haven't got a score yet in this half, and maybe it is more difficult than we realised with the wind on the left hand side. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe Kildare had a strong wind behind them in the first half. Sometimes it swirls around, and when you're up in the stand you don't feel it the same way it is on the pitch. Wicklow Gold now under pressure, and that is Emmett Ronan, who's got 2 or 3 green jerseys around them, and in the end the referee blows his whistle, but I'm not sure what he's actually decided. Maybe going to throw it in. More subs being lined up. I see down to my right, number 18 for Wicklow Gold has been warmed up. That's Conor O'Mahony from Kilcool. Referee actually having a word. I wonder, is he issuing the first booking of the game to the number 5 for Wicklow Gold. That's Emmett Ronan. Yeah, yellow card for the yellow jersey.
Just a bit of a loose pull there, caught the Kildare man on the ankle there. So
we saw one go over from here in the first half from Wicklow Gold from play. Can he drill it over from there? It's a nice strike. It looks good. It's a perfect effort indeed from Shane Henry from Clayton, and that is Kildare's first score of the second half, and an exceptional one as well. 1 point each in the second half, and that reflects the way the game has been in the second half. It's certainly gone up a level, and that is credit to Wicklow Gold. They've really gone for it in the second half, and they're going for it again. This is Traynor. Puts it in low. It's a lovely ball, but the full forward Barry just wasn't able to take it. Clearance out, and there's number 16 in for Kildare as well, and that is Killian Power from Salins. So Kildare emptying the bench at half time, which you can afford to do, I guess, when you're leading by this amount. It's now 3-8 to 4 points in the first 9 minutes. John, of the second half has flown by.
It had absolutely flown by. It's there's no difference between the teams here at all. They're matching each other perfectly now. So
sun trying to come out in North Dublin and Abbotstown, and it's coming through once or twice, but you see it now where the players are in just that pocket on the far side. That's Tomas O'Connell, number 6. They clear their lines. That's a great catch under pressure. An athletic effort there as well. That's lovely skill. Great to see. I was trying to explain to somebody at halftime, we thought, oh, it sounds like a really one-sided poor game, but it's not. Both teams really showing really well in this game. And Wicklow Gold, if they could sneak a wee goal here, they'd make it interesting as well. But where is this one going to go? It's bobbing around in there, but the number 2, Paddy Connolly, clears his lines. But Wicklow Gold get it again. The other cornerback now, Cian Brody, gets it away, but it looks like it's going to keep coming back, because that's the number 7, Daniel Burns, and it's a Wicklow ball. Another sub going in, number 18 for Wicklow Gold. That's Conor O'Mahony from Kilcool, who I mentioned a minute ago, was warming up. He's now in the play. So another change for Wicklow Gold, and he's got straight into the full forward position. So maybe there's a goal in him which could make things interesting. But at the other end, this is the midfielder again. This is Jack Courtney driving forwards. Oh my goodness, what a super effort again. We've had some quality of goals today, John.
Fantastic, and that just came from a line ball there. A lovely cut went up and he took it on beautifully well and ran it all the way to the goal. So
he's a great runner with the ball, very impressive when he goes with the ball.
He's very athletic, very strong, isn't he?
He's got that lower sense of gravity as well, and they just can't catch him.
Yeah.
So the man who came off there for Wicklow Gold, by the way, was Thomas Walsh, the number 15. He was replaced, and I was saying that he might be on, or his replacement might be on to get them a goal, but then a goal goes in at the other end and it becomes 4-8 to 4 points in the game out of reach, you would imagine, of Wicklow Gold at this point after that goal, if it wasn't already. "12 minutes gone in the second half. Electric Ireland Corn Tom Hogan Cup up for grabs. Still the cheers and encouragement come from the supporters. Come on, Wicklow. And it's going to be a Wicklow ball. That goal seems to have knocked the stuffing out of the game a little bit, hasn't it, John?
Just seems to have, hasn't it? It's gone a bit deflated here at the moment, all right, yeah.
Good clearance though by Emmett Ronan, and brilliantly fielded down in front of us here by Daniel Colbert. That skill, I think, has been exercised more than any other. There's another catch, well taken by Fionn Darcy as Wicklow Gold go in search of a goal. They don't get it though, because Paddy Connolly is there, and he finds Noah.
No.
Is that Noah Farrell?
Yeah, he's gone.
Is he back in again?
Yeah, he's back in again there, yeah.
Okay, so my theory about him being injured was nonsense. He's fine.
I said it was precautionary, I say, to give him a rest, but he's
and that's gone wide to the left. But yeah, they've sent him back in again.
There's unlimited substitutions in the Celtic Challenge, so which is great, and I suppose that gives opportunity then to pull him off if there's any sort of niggle and put him back on, you know, and again give him game time, give all the other guys game time as well.
Because he definitely pulled up and they must have thought, no, get him off quick, but they were maybe a bit hasty there, and he said, I'm grand, and they put him back on again, so that's fine. Spotted down in front of Darcy to chase, but Joe Dunn comes over and deals with that. So yeah, it's a good rule that about the subs, and in what particular way does that help the games, do you think?
Well, it's fantastic because, as I said, you want as many players playing this, and it can kind of make it hard if you only have 5 substitutions and you got 24 guys, or under the old Celtic Challenge it was 30 guys you could have on a panel. So by having unlimited subs, it does give you the opportunity to get guys in, and like that, pull them back in again if they're fit and able, you know. So it's fantastic. Now I know it can, in one sense, I know they can say it can make it hard then if you're transforming your team putting on, but like I said, it works out well. We have a panel of 19 at the moment, so you know, it gets them in and gets guys back in again then, you know.
And Wicklow Gold have a panel of 25, so it means that also if you're a sub and they've already used 5 subs, you're not sitting there thinking my day's done, you might still get on.
Well, that's just it. If 10 minutes into the second half and 5 subs are gone, you know, you still have a great opportunity getting in, you know. So
sun covering most of the pitch now, I'm glad to say, and I hope it brings a bit of heat as well, because for the 4th of June the wind has a chill factor in it that is quite cold. certainly up here in the stand. Oh, that's good work, good block. Kieran Traynor working hard for Wicklow Gold. To be fair, they've only scored the 4 points, and they definitely deserve more than that for the effort and the skill and endeavour that they have put into this game. But they might get one now. Supporters calling for it. Kieran Traynor from Western Gales. He's told to just go back a step. Now can he judge the wind? Will he flight it or drive it? Oh, and he puts it to the right. Hard one to judge, to be fair. Difficult enough conditions out there. Another sub going in for Wicklow Gold, and it's their number 19. That's Senan Gardner from Western Gales. They have a big representation today, and as John was saying, Kildare seem to be rotating rather than putting on new subs.
Yeah, just give guys a chance to get back on there, get a few more minutes on the pitch.
So some fellas have come off and then gone back on again. Brody's off now though, and so is Joe Corrigan. Well-earned rests for them, and they have a little handshake as well from the coaches and themselves. Job well done so far for Kildare Lily-Whites in the green. Wicklow Gold though, not giving up and giving it everything in this second half, although they found themselves well behind. First man to the ball is Paddy Connolly from Clane. Does well to find his teammate Dylan Doherty, I think that was, and now it's Stephen Wilson who's back in the play.
The player of the match.
So yeah, Stephen Wilson's back on as well. He went off at half time, but he's back in, number 10. And we're just getting a reminder. I was going to remind you anyway about player of the match. No pressure on you.
Oh, lovely.
We'll wait to the end, but we can always pick out 3 or 4 contenders from both sides. There's plenty of players, and we will do that. Although it's not actually player of the match, of course. It's called Best and Fairest, which is another new sort of idea that they have as well, which I'd imagine that you're supportive of.
Yeah, in a big way, yeah. It's not just necessarily the guy who's got 2 goals and 10 points or whatever it is someone else who's put in an unbelievable shift and it's a great honest effort and has contributed to the game in a massive way himself, like, you know. So yeah, it's a great initiative again.
Yeah, it's always those corner forwards with the 3 goals who get it, isn't it?
The poor cornerback who's got 20 hooks and blocks and doesn't get it.
Yeah. Although to be fair, those goals in the first half were pretty special, but this fella's been great. For example, Jack Courtney, he's got to be a contender. Referee bringing that back for a free for him as well, because he was fouled a little bit earlier in that move. So 48 minutes gone, 12 minutes to go. Sun doing its best to stick around. And I see the man who's here to present the trophies. That is Kieran McLaughlin, the Ulster GAA president. We don't have Larry McCarthy today. I know he'd love to be here. He's a great supporter and advocate of these competitions, but he's a busy man today elsewhere. I think there might even be an American team in the country, and of course there's a couple of quite big hurling matches later on in Croke Park. The Joe McDonagh Cup final, Kerry against Antrim, and then of course the Leinster Senior Hurling final, Galway and Kilkenny. Getting a good exhibition of hurling here so far, and we've another one at 2:15. We'll have a live stream of Galway against Tipperary. That's in the Corn Michael Hogan Cup. Free for Wicklow Gold. They trail 4-8 to 4 points, but it really doesn't feel like that sort of a game. And to be fair to them, they seem to be disregarding it the way they're playing. They're just going at the game as best they can. There's a ball into the corner. He's trying to force his way through and is penalised, I think, for a rather blatant push. He was trying to force his way through.
That's one of those, is either going to be a free in or a free out.
Yeah. It was just a wrestling match. It had to go one way. I think he's given it out, has he? Yeah, free out for Kildare. Have you been around these competitions since 2016?
Yeah, I would have been. Yeah. I suppose I was there since the first one, so I've been lucky enough to be involved with all the Kildare teams ever since, and I think this is our second final to be participating in. So it's again, I can't emphasise enough. It's been so good for Kildare hurling and Kildare development of our underage players.
Well, you're going well at senior level, aren't you? You're making progress. Like, is that a factor?
Yeah, well, I suppose maybe at the senior level, some of the guys who are on the Celtic Challenge haven't quite got there yet. But at under 20, minor and under 20 level over the last number of years, we've had plenty of guys who are involved with the Celtic Challenge teams and things. So.
The crowd really getting behind this effort from Wicklow Gold, even though they're so far behind. They are giving it a lot in there, and that's the number 22, actually, Van Dalen, who put the ball in there, and they're battling for it. But the Kildare defence has been so strong in there all the way through. There's been very little way round it or through it. They're being tested now, though. One of the subs who came in trying his luck, but again, it is that Kildare defence, and I would imagine there'll be a few contenders there for player of the match. And this fella, Courtney, again loving to drive on with the ball, but rather crudely stopped in his tracks there by Cathal Kirby, and the referee quick to have a word with him. And I imagine Kirby was thinking, no, I can't let him run again. I'm not going to catch that fella if he gets away. And that will be a yellow card, second yellow card off the game for that tackle.
I think it was a bit of frustration. I think it was all that was, and he gave Jack a pat in the back there to go by him. Just no hard feelings there at all.
Ball from Colbert, high in and around the house, batted out. Van Dalen is there. Could be another Kildare score the way things are going, though. They haven't actually had too many scores in the second half. They had that goal and maybe a point, but they haven't been dominating, but haven't had to. Ball pops out to Ken Cullen, and he gets it down the line, and well taken by the number 21. That's Phelan Lynch Ward. It's been a really even contest at times, apart from the scoreboard.
Has all over the pitch, it has been, yeah. Especially the middle third there, there's been fairly good hits and hooks and blocks by both sides, and again, it's just a score, and a bit like you can see Kildare in the second half are struggling down here with the shots, a bit like Wicklow were in the first half. So
that's a mighty effort, though. He certainly got plenty of height on it, but not quite the direction. And he's going to claim it was a great pass, which of course it was, and well taken. And that's the 17 trying to get a shot in there. That's Kieran Ryan. Wicklow Gold clear through Tomas O'Connell. This is Trainer with those fuel injected red boots, but he stopped in his tracks, and Colbert gives it to Henry. Henry puts it in, and that's Ryan again trying his luck. He didn't get a score a minute ago. That looked like it was going to go over, but just didn't find the range. Christy Connors, the goalkeeper, pumps it out into the middle of the field again, and that's Fionn Darcy, and it's a free to Wicklow Gold. But Kildare already getting men back off camera, and the number 7, of course, Joe Dunn in there again. He's always minding the house. That's put in right down towards him. He goes for it, doesn't get it, but does enough to distract, and now we'll get it. Nice and composed on the ball, and does really well to find Courtney despite having a tension there. Courtney again, and he's battling with Kirby again. This time it's Kirby who comes away with it, leaves it off to Darcy, or tries to, but instead the number 16 came in there for Kildare. That is Killian Power. That's Joe Dunn changing direction, looking for Ryan again, and tried to leave it off there. Lovely little bit of play, didn't just quite work, but you've got to try these things. That's a long high clearance into the Kildare defence, but this fella has been so quick to the ball. He's always first to the ball, and that's been the case for a lot of the Kildare defence. Very disciplined. Courtney drives it long. Who's going to get there first, or who's going to get there second rather? That was good work. Oh, what a lovely ball inside from Mark Kiernan, and that will be a free in for Kildare. So we're down to the last 5 minutes of the game. A very entertaining game it has been indeed, and still is. The Kildare defence, I don't know what you're doing down there, but the coaching must be really, really good in defence. They're out in front all the time. They've let nothing in. Only 4 points is, you know, that's a testament to that.
Yeah, they're doing very well. They're working really well together, and I think the guys out the pitch are making the life a lot easier, especially when they're coming out with the ball. They're looking for it, which is a huge advantage for our defence. But no complaints at all. There's been some great performance down there.
4-9 now for Kildare Lily Whites to 4 points for Wicklow Gold. Hard to believe, actually. I'm just thinking Wicklow Gold have only scored 1 point in the second half. It feels like they should have got a lot more. They've been pressing a lot, but they've only had 1 point, and that was the first score of the half, so they haven't scored since then. But as I say, the boys in green have been resolute back there. And now this is Shane Henry, and as John Doran says, it's a team effort really. You can't just put it down to one. Courtney doesn't get there, but gets a nice flick on it to still keep possession. Well watched there by Ken Cullen, the cornerback. Spreads it to O'Connell, and it's going to be a free out for Wicklow Gold. So we're looking at contenders at this point for player of the match. Have you any ideas at this point who you're thinking about, as we see a sub coming in for Wicklow Gold? 23, Ryan McCormick, another one from Greystones, is coming into the play.
Yeah, I suppose from the Kildare side, you could look at most of the backs there. The Cormac's been very solid in the goals. Paddy Connolly, number 2, has come out with any amount of ball. You have Big Joe then has been outstanding. Keane has been outstanding there as Dylan, and I suppose Jack Courtney. I suppose we mentioned the most of everyone, so then you can't forget the 3 goals in the first half as well. So I'd probably, from the Kildare point of view, I'd probably be looking at Jack Courtney, and then from the Wicklow side, I think in fairness, I think Carl Kirby has been put an unbelievable shift there and been very steady, and it was him who kind of led the fight there after half time there with Wicklow, and I think Peppered in his first half in particular as well. I think put in a good shift there as well and got on a lot of balls, so they'd be kind of my contenders.
Hate to put the pressure on you, but I know that the organisers are going to come up and they're not going to settle for 5 or 6. They're going to want one of them.
Well, if I had to pick one, then I'd probably go with Jack Courtney for number 9 and number 3 Wicklow from Kirby from Wicklow Gold.
And was it the goal that sealed it for you, his goal in the second half, Jack Courtney's?
Yeah, that could have been just the thing that nudged in my head maybe, yeah. I know he's hurled the world of the ball and he's a great attitude there, and the engine kept going all day, so.
And that's exactly what the award is about, best and fairest.
That's it, yeah. No, he's been everywhere today, in the backs, the forwards, and encouraging guys. And
this is James Bedford coming out of defence strongly, and Wicklow man I think is going to get spoken to there, trying to stop him in his tracks. Only a couple of minutes left, and we will stay on the stream for the cup presentation and the best and fairest award presentation as well, and after that we'll take a bit of a break, and then we'll have another stream on the second game today. That's Galway against Tipperary at 2:15, Corn Michael Hogan, so stick around for that one as well. Still the call comes up, come on Wicklow, they're encouraging them right to the end, but there's a lovely score floated over for Kildare, and it is the number 19, that's James Donnelly from St. Lawrence's, same club as the goalkeeper Cormac Doolan, and that was a nice finish as well. That makes it 4-10 to 4 points now for Kildare Lilywhites. Now can Wicklow Gold finish with a flourish? No, that's going to go all the way over the end line. And we're now in the 60th minute, just 30 seconds left of normal time as Wicklow Gold send in Max Latham from Air Road Greystones into the play, and actually replaces Cathal Kirby, who's put in a big shift, as John was telling us. So Latham into the play. So gets a bit of experience of playing in an All-Ireland final. But here comes that man Courtney, He loves to run with the ball, and he lays it off unselfishly as well. Great save by the goalkeeper though. Might still end up in the net, and it does, and that puts a tin hat on it for Kildare Lilywhites in the green. What a performance by them today. 5 goals, and they've all been excellently taken. That one they had to work a little bit harder for, because the goalkeeper Christy Connors made a great save, but it still ended up in the net, and that is 5 of the best for Kildare, and they are finishing in style.
Fairness, just as we were talking about Jack, he ran all the way through the defence but didn't pull the trigger himself and gave the ball off to the man in the better position, which is fantastic. It's what you want to see with these young guys. So
if he hadn't sealed the award, he definitely
has actually. We may give it to him now.
For being unselfish.
Unselfish, that's it.
He's on the ball again. Doesn't stop, and he is a lovely player. There's no doubt about that. He's very lively and always, as you say, looking to support his teammates as well. Didn't just go for the glory. This is Cullen for Wicklow. We're into the 62nd minute now. There haven't been many stoppages though, so I don't think there'll be much time added on. I don't remember any injuries or anything like that, which is heartening. So we're probably in the last few seconds of the game. This is Shane Henry coming out to Dylan Doherty, looking to get the last score of the game, and he certainly puts it over, and it probably will be the last score. Referee Jason Buckley looks at his watch. It's 5-11 to 4 points. We play on though. There's a few more seconds. There's Big Joe again coming in, but the ball evades him, and he comes back in and gets it at the second attempt. He's had a super game for Kildare, and that's a good pass as well. And Wilson finds his way through a couple of challenges there. They're looking as if to say, where did he go? He just nipped in between them. Free out though for Wicklow Gold. We're in the 63rd minute. So today is the culmination of the Celtic Challenge. Lots of games have been played over the last couple of months. There's around 1,000 players in all have been involved in hurling, which is fantastic to see. 39 teams, 29 counties, and this festival of hurling has seen these two teams battle it out for the Corn Tom Hogan today, and fittingly enough, Wicklow Gold may now have got the last score of the game. It's only 5 points for them, but they have finished with a nice point at the end, and they deserve that as well. Good score.
Beautiful score, fairness. Well worked, and a great strike off the left now, fairness, and beautiful score.
Referee looking closely at his watch and blows his whistle. The game is over. Cheers go up, I think, for both teams, because it's been that kind of a final. Kildare Lilywhites in the green, clear winners, 5-11 to 5 points after almost 63 minutes of play, and they certainly deserved it, but there's been a lot of excellent play from both sides, and we will have the presentation down in front of us just in a minute here when the players come over, and the family and friends will get their photographs from behind the fence. So see, the cup is ready there, and Kieran McLaughlin is ready to present it. He is the Ulster GAA president, and he's here today to present 2 cups, or maybe 3 actually. There's 3 cups, of course, so he will be a busy man, and the first one will be the Corn Tom Hogan, the Electric Ireland Celtic Challenge, culminating in this fine game today. And John Doran from Kildare is with me, so you'll be happy from a Kildare point of view, but you'll be best and fairest as well, and give credit to Wicklow too.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's in fairness, Wicklow have 2 teams in this competition, and like ourselves, get to the final is a fantastic achievement, and I'm sure, look, today didn't go their way, but I'm sure they'd be delighted with how the whole thing has gone for them overall, like, you know. So fairness to Wicklow, and it would have been easy, especially at this age group, 16 and 17 year olds. The head could have completely gone down at half time. They came out, took it to Kildare in the big way, and just unfortunately for them, the goal just broke a kind of the game when Kildare got it. But I see them over there in the huddle again, like, you know, they lost but they're not defeated type thing, you know. So fairness to them, look, I'm sure those guys will push on again now next year.
I noticed in the last 2 games before this, Wicklow actually scored 10 goals and 26 points, but they were kept to 5 points today. What does that say about the Kildare defence?
Yeah, well, look, it's a great sign. It's obviously the Wicklow have dangerous hordes up there. It's a great sign of our lads that they just kept their heads and kept solid and kept coming out with the ball, and you know, just kept the concentration going as well. You know, in any grade of hurling, senior down to under sevens, you know, if you start to get a bit of a lead, it can be easy to tune out. But in fairness to the guys, they didn't. They just stuck to their task and kept going. So they should be very well proud of themselves.
And as I said earlier on, a line from the match programme, changing the hurling landscape. That's what this competition is about. So if you're tuning in and wondering what Wicklow Gold is and Kildare Lilywhites, well, these are names that have been applied for this particular competition, which started in 2016, and in 2022 it is 39 teams from 29 counties, 1,000 young hurlers involved. And you see there a lot of the family and friends have got their cameras at the ready to take pictures. We have the Kildare team in the green in front of us, and we're waiting for Wicklow Gold to come over now, and they are on their way. And I see the cup down there, and Kieran Kearney helping to organise things, speaking to the other Kieran McLaughlin, the Ulster president. He has a microphone at hand, so in a moment or so the players will come in, and then I will stop talking. And I see Kieran having a word with the captain as well of Kildare Lilywhites, and that is Cian de Greek from Selbridge, not too far from here. And now, Kieran, I hope you'll be able to pick up what he's saying.
Kildare, August Kilmartin, yes, now on a more supportable than you. Well done, lads, on a sporting game. From both teams' perspective, this competition is about your own development as young players. And certainly for Wicklow today, we saw a wee bit of a standard gap, but with your coaches and with yourselves putting in the effort and continuing to improve, you will get up to that, but you have to continue to work hard at it. Kildare done well today, very good performance. After the back of your seniors, one of the Christie Ring, there's obviously talent coming through in Kildare, keep up the work. But the important message out of today is to both teams, this competition and your coaches, this competition is developmental. Please continue to play hurling, because it's the best game in the world, and you guys today showed some of the finest skills, some of the saving and everything else going on. So, look, two things to announce. The man of the match today, Jack Courtney, Kildare.
Well done to Jack Courtney from the Aero Club. Sorry about the audio noise coming through.
From Hogan, the captain, Ian Derrick. Great.
I had difficulty with that too.
His father's from Holland.
Turning around for the cameras for us to get a nice shot, and there is indeed the winning captain with Kieran McLaughlin, and that is Cian de Greek from Selbridge getting the cup, and he will maybe be told to say a few words as well. They're having to get another photograph. From the Kildare Lilywhites, led the team well from the middle of the fields, and I wonder, are they going to ask him to say a word or two? I'm not sure he's too keen on it. Did his talking on the field, but now he has the microphone.
For a brilliant game. 3 cheers for Wicklow.
Audio's not too great, but he says a brilliant game and 3 cheers for Wicklow Gold. Short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
So we'll just stay on for a few seconds here to see the photograph being taken of the players with the cup, and they'll do a little bit of celebrating first before they go for the formal version of the photograph. But well done to Kildare Lilywhites, great day for them. And just, I wonder, could you just sum it up for us, John, what this day is about and what it means to Kildare to win this? You said it's only their second final in this competition. Yeah,
look, it's just a further step in the road for these guys and for the squads and things, you know. It's a brilliant day for them. I hope, and I'm sure they will remember for the rest of their hurling careers and days. You know, and I said the jerseys would be a nice little memento to have going forward, but it's brilliant. It's brilliant for them. Like, they'll be back training in a couple of weeks' time again now with the development squads and things like that. So it'll continue on, but it's just another step along the way, and it's just absolutely brilliant for them. And what they'll do is, I know for the underage Kildare teams coming behind them now, they'll be looking at this. They'll see the pictures this week. They know those guys from the clubs. They'll play with some of those guys, and they'll be looking forward to this competition now next year again as well, which is brilliant. And some of these guys will be looking, hopefully, now we'll be looking at the Kildare minors for next year to try and push on to there and make that team. So it's brilliant.
Another step along the player pathway.
That's it.
All right, thank you very much to John Doran from Kildare. His team won. Wicklow Gold put in a great performance as well, but it has been, I suppose it's a bit of a cliche, but hurling is definitely the winner. The sun has come out as well. We've another stream coming up at 2:15, so we'll be on just before that, so keep an eye out for that. That's Galway against Tipperary. But for now, from this one, I hope you enjoyed the coverage from Abbotstown. It's goodbye.